Warm greetings from Jaya School of Architecture. We take great privilege in presenting you the DECODE series. Today's topic is on the concept of presentation and construction by architect Mohammed Zayn. Before that, I would like to introduce a dynamic mentor, architect Vijay Krishna. Vijay Krishna is the principal architect at Vision Architects and Interiors, Chennai. He is very active with the social causes of the fraternity in spite of his busy schedule. He is also our mentor, and his interest is in merging technology with architecture. We welcome you, sir. The stage is yours. You can deliver your welcome speech. Thank you.
Good evening, one and all present here. It's a great pleasure to be part of Jaya School of Architecture, visualizing its growth from day one under the guidance of architect Dr. P. Satish Kumar and along with other mentors. As ever, the team has started the DECODE series. Good. We are in series 3 today, imparting knowledge on practical steps and other developments. Today's session of DECODE by architect Mohammed Zayn on concept to presentation and construction is much need of that. It is no doubt to say digital architecture, digital technology to architecture has brought in tremendous growth, changing the complete thought process and the visualization pattern. And Mohammed Zayn is an eminent scholar, or maybe I would say one among the person who deals with this topic in digital technologies. So I, on behalf of Jaya School of Architecture, would like to invite Mohammed Zayn and eagerly wait to take part in the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the speech. I would like to introduce the speaker of the day, architect Zayn Mohammed. He's a young dynamic architect who graduated from Ali Muhammad Salik Academy of Architecture, and he's currently working at Venkatraman Associates, Bangalore. He's a young digital savvy entrepreneur combining technology and utmost care for the end users and process. His aspirations are towards exploring creative solutions and being the change. He speaks how he goes about his belief. We may not be able to change the world with architecture, but we cannot change the world without it. It's true, Zayn, and I welcome you to give you the stage today. The stage is yours, Zayn. Take it up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Satish Kumar, sir. Like, it is really a very good opportunity for me to be here in this wonderful platform. And I would like to thank Vijay Krishna, sir, for also giving me this wonderful opportunity to be here. And so as the topic is learn from concept to construction and presentation. So I will also be introducing a little bit on the softwares as it goes on. So first of all, I will welcome everyone for this presentation over here. And so about this software presentation, what we need to understand is, like, as we architects and the professionals and the students are there in this forum, like, we understand like how the drawing remains the primary means by which an architect or an interior designer or like any designer which communicate their ideas with clients, craftsmen, or with the design team or with any layman, because drawings are the primary means. And the way we create those drawings have always evolved over time. It's still evolving on the daily basis, right? So each architectural design software is targeted at its different needs and choosing the best one. Like, the choosing the best, we have multiple softwares here in the architectural industry, but choosing the right software and the best software is completely dependent on us. Like, depends on the comfortability and different aspects what we have, such as cost, compatibility with other programs, and the amount of time you're willing to spend on the drawing process is more important. Although you will find more suitable softwares and the design softwares which you know, like here are some of the softwares where we will able to jump and adapt between them, the list of programs to increase the workflow and the design process. So we have two topics to see over here, which is like learn from concept to presentation, and the other is learn from concept to construction. So for presentation, we can use like some basic softwares and advance in each and every software, which I'll be showing you as it goes on, like with the help of AUTOCAD, SKETCHUP, LUMION, and Photoshop. These are like basic software, and if you can see, AUTOCAD is the old and dominant software in the industry. If you ask me, in India, it's widely spread and it's been there for the past 20 years also. So combining these four softwares, how we can do marvelous presentations, and how can we pitch the clients, and how can we attract, and how can we get the projects, and not only that, like how can we for the students, how can we make the jury presentations, and also increasing the workflow in the process. So these are the four softwares. And now we have like something called Revit and Dynamo Studio, where we use the constructions. Like it is a BIM software. So basically, we will see like how the software is evolving in the construction and as well as in the presentation world in architecture. So like I will just like to give some agenda over here. Like I will I will introduce little bit on the projects, what I have been doing, and also I will give you the brief on each and every software from sketching. How can we do from sketching, and how can we take it to the presentation with the each and every software what we have. I will give you a brief on those things with the example of my projects which I've been doing in Venkatraman Associates, and also I'm working with one European firm for one of the project for Indian Smart City Mission. I'll be showing you those presentations, how it's been evolving with those projects, and which each and every SketchUp, LUMION, Photoshop, till this sheet composition, and also not only that, making working drawings with the help of SketchUp and Photoshops and layouts. So we will look into those aspects as it goes on. So these are the topics which we can look into. So yeah, so currently I'm working in Venkatraman Associates, handling some international projects like Boeing and Siemens. So these are like 20 million and 25 million square feet of projects. So these softwares consist lot of softwares, which is the BIM software which you use, because it goes under multiple disciplines like MEP, structural, and then we have lot of traffic signages, and then lot of different disciplines what we have in one architectural component if you take. So we have to align all those disciplines, and then we call it as BIM. So we, I mean, these projects have been evolved and still is going in the construction stage. So that's, so these projects I'm working in for the past 3 years. So this is just a brief on the projects which I'm currently working. Also, just like to give you an achievement story of myself, like I have won some multiple competitions like Griha. Also, some of my projects have been published in Indian Institute of Architects, and as it goes on, these are some of the short achievement list which you see over in the screen. And this is some of the with my team presenting during my second year of undergraduation at Indian Habitat Center at New Delhi. I had awarded a cash prize, and as well as for the Griha thing. So yeah, now coming back to the main topic, which is learn from concept to presentation. So like all the architects start everything with sketching, right? Like we believe we should start with sketching. That's the exact thing. Like we should start everything with sketches, because like, see, I will also show you some advantages or benefits of the sketching as it goes. So like we have a concept, and then we take it to the digital world, because I see a lot of students and the professionals are struggling, like how can we take a concept? Like say you can make a fluidic concept if you have, or you can make a sustainable concept, or any concept what you take in mind. How can we take it to a digital world? So that's where, because we should consider the softwares as a tool rather than considering it as a software, because that's where, because students, like they are not able to exactly bring what they think in the mind, what they sketch. They can easily sketch amazing sketches of fluidity, but they can't bring it in the software. So how can we bring that is what I'm going to show over here, and how can we do those presentations to attract the juries and as well as the clients. So that is where, and from the 2D, basically the AutoCAD is the 2D world. From 2D, we take it to 3D. So you have a 2D, all the drawings, you make all the plans and everything, and then we take it to 3D. That is the SketchUp. And then from there, we take it to post-production, or like doing all those makeup stuffs. Like you make all those amazing 3Ds in SketchUp. Then we take it to LUMION to make high quality renderings. And from that, then we'll take it to post-production, which is called the sheet compositions, making the sections looking more interesting, understanding the concept evolving. I will show you as it goes on. So yeah, I believe, like as I said, like sketching is one of the more important than in scribbling in the piece of paper. It is a powerful process that aids in discovering the best ideas, and is still evolving in the solutions to a design problem. Architecture or an interior architect or interior designer sketches are all about communicating the ideas, right? Like whether it is solving initial design problem or working through ideas and details. It helps to convey ideas, demonstrate functionality, visualize user flow, and illustrate anything and that requires interaction. It assists in discovering potential issues and solutions early and in the early stages of, like, when you sketch all the thing, what we will do is we will figure out all the spaces, all the zonings, everything, the sketching itself, and then we take it to the AutoCAD world, right? So, like, let me just give you some benefits of sketching also. Like, saves the time in the workflow process. Directly you jump into the 2D world, so you may not you'll be fixed into some form or some zoning function. So which saves the time in the workflow process, helps eliminating the layout and the functionality issues what we do in AutoCAD or what we do in SketchUp. For those things, it helps those, and it is really great for brainstorming. If you ask me personally, like, the sketching is one most important what we do, and the most and the important thing is even a kid can sketch. So then why like that's the thing, like anyone can sketch. So that's how we can take it to. Then what we'll do, concept to AutoCAD. So I believe like AutoCAD is one of the old and dominant layer. As I explained, it is well known among the students and the professionals. Is very old, and many are saying it's outdated and all. Like, I will come to that also. And as you adjust like the user interface to your preferences and start experimenting the layers and the line weights, you will get a decent drafting with standard drawing conversions and measurable construction details. So like, this is a basic thing about AutoCAD. And what we can see, what you see here in the screen is like, we will do first with the like many people like don't understand the line weights in AutoCAD. Like, line weights are more important when it comes to the presentation. So each and a line weights showing, as you see over here, different columns we can show. We can try to show these types of working drawings and these types of functional, like the furniture layouts and everything. So this is simply just showing like how we can make a detailed working drawing in AutoCAD. These types of presentations we can use to show it to the client. Like, I'm talking about the corporate clients and also like normal clients, and even to the jurors. Like, this is what is really needed when it comes to, so like these types of elevations also, like as you saw, I mean, as I was showing here in the screen. So not only that, like when we stick it to the 2D world, there is some basic interface between the SketchUp and the AutoCAD. So as you see over here on the screen, these we make elevations and we make ideas in SketchUp, right? So that information, we will bring it to AutoCAD. We will export as a 2D drawing in AutoCAD. These are basic stuffs which improve. And for that, we will do a presentation. So as you see here, I'm quickly exporting this SketchUp model to AutoCAD. And not only restricting to that, then we will take it to Photoshop. So here you can see the front elevation, the side elevations, and the views, even the isometric views, oxynometric views. I'll show you some of my presentations as it goes on. Like, see, we can just export it, and then we can simply copy paste in one layout and then bring it to the sheet and edit that in Photoshop. So here is some of the presentation which I did in the similar way, right? So these, what you see over here, the similar concept is being used, AutoCAD, SketchUp, interface, and then bring it to Photoshop. And this, some editing is in Photoshop, which we do. And then we get a decent presentations like this, which attracts us. Some oxynometric views. I believe oxynometric views will explain. Oxynometric view is nothing but an exploded view of an entire building, which shows you all the components of the building, architectural components. So that is very important to show that. So I believe strongly each and every project, if you show an oxynometric view, it clearly explains the functions, the zonings, the elements, the spaces, everything will be shown very clearly. So these are some of the presentations which I used as I showed you. And not only that, also the working drawings. So these I did for one of the project, which I will show you the execution pics also. Like, with the help of these, I could explain even the carpenter, even the layman. Okay, even the carpenter, I could give these types of basically the detailed drawings which we need to execute at site, which is required, which I can clearly make with the help of these mood board presentations which you see over here. This is simply just explaining one 3D view on the right side and the left side. What is the wardrobe detail, right? What is the plan? How is my electrical wirings going in the top? How is my wardrobe? So the client itself is really attracted by seeing this. So I can explain with the help of key plan by saying, okay, here is my view and here is the view, what is going to look like, what are the textures which the each and every interior is going to look like. right? And even he will know the detail also, because clients are these days becoming very smart. They're Googling everything and they're finding all the details which required. So architects, we should upgrade more than the clients because we face them daily basis. So I believe that we should make our presentations in a really good way that it explains them more than that what they are expecting from us. So this is one simple thing which I like presentation which I showed you. Not only that, like AutoCAD has a really important thing called contours. Like we focus on, like when students do some theses or some, like even in the live projects, what we do, like when pitching a project, even in lifetime projects, we should know, like in SketchUp, we have an option called going into some area and finding out the contour of the entire area and then dragging it to Photoshop. Dragging it to AutoCAD, bringing all the, like understanding the levels, how the area is being given, like how the different heights are and everything. So that will help to understand the levels, how we can able to give our functions in terms of levels. So contour also like matters are really strong in our industry. So we need to understand the contours with the help of SketchUp and AutoCAD basic softwares. These will give you like, as you see in the screen, like we can get a decent thing in AutoCAD directly, as you see. So with the help of that, also I have made some presentations which I will show you as it goes. Not only to that, also like students in the during the 5th years and also like MArch students, like have been doing like urban designing, right? Like I'm very much fascinated and very much passionate about urban designing. So that's why I want to give the essence of urban designing, how we can do it in AutoCAD and SketchUp with the help of plugins. Okay, so we have Google Earth, we have some OpenStreetMaps, we have some plugins called map creatives and all those. What we do is we bring all those things and we export it to AutoCAD, and then we bring all the figure ground ratios which we need to understand the entire city or the entire given area which you are going to select and which you are going to give a redevelopment or something like that, a proposal which we need to do. So I'll show you some of my competitions and also some of the things which have been published in IAA also. So this is during my 5th year, during my undergraduation. We had to choose one entire area, and we with a team, like we figured out this is the Georgetown area, which is a very highly dense populated area in Chennai. So that area we focused and we do these types of figure ground ratios, which explains the traffic, which explains the the figure ground ratio, like where it is dense and everything, what is the culture of the street, each and everything we can able to give. As you see over here, it is explaining each and every street with different types of cultures. So these are the important things which we can focus. When you're strong in softwares, you can present these things to the client and also to your juror. So you see, like even the traffic pattern we can able to study. No other softwares, only 4 softwares were used to make these presentations, and with the help of live survey which we did, and with the help of the Google Earth traffic what we have over here, so we can able to make these types of presentations. Similarly, AutoCAD and SketchUp, this is for one of the project which I did, like combining all those in Photoshop, explaining how the garden which is there. This is a 5-star hotel which I did, like having the garden in between, like. So these presentations are going to help us to understand the it clearly conveys to the client or to the juror which it talks as the sheets will the sheet will talk a lot, rather than we don't have to, we can just focus on the concept and everything. So the sheet itself will speak a lot. So that's what it comes. And these are the benefits when you master in AutoCAD. Like obviously you draw to scale, easy layout and viewing issues, draw accurately, make changes, risk and reduce effects and errors, identify design problems, and also we can make quantities and productions. We can make BOQs in AutoCAD. Those things also we have. And also not only to that, like we can learn how to draft from concept to working drawings, presentation techniques in AutoCAD, site analysis with the help of contour, figure ground ratios for urban design projects, learn how to make detailed working drawing, urban study and analysis. So these are the things which you cover in AutoCAD itself. Right. So then what we have is, like we have something called SketchUp, where we come from the 2D world and then we go to the 3D world. So I strongly believe that architects should start the conceptual phase in 3D directly. So I'll show you why. So I'll show you one of the video, which is a very amazing video. Like SketchUp allows you to use a quickly in between the 3D design. So you can directly plonk your 3D imagination directly in the SketchUp world, which is, I believe it's like a sketch. That's why it's meant to be like SketchUp. So it's very easy to use, and we can go extreme to parametrics. We have 300 plugins in SketchUp. So all those plugins, we don't have to focus on all those. We have some powerful plugins, which I'll be showing you as it goes. So this is one of the axonometric view of the concept, like showing how we can have the different levels which we have over here, showing different functions, and then we bring it to Photoshop just to understand, like, okay, this is what, how my, like say if it is an institution, these are some of my lobby spaces which are there, or this is like a tech hub or something like that. We can explain that in an axonometric view with different levels. So this is like a presentation which we can directly do with the help of SketchUp and Photoshop, little bit of Photoshop for the presentation and stuff. If we don't need Photoshop also, we can do it in SketchUp itself, these types of axonometric view with the help of SketchUp and layout, which I'll be showing you as it goes. So this, with the help of that simple idea, like I could make for this, for one of the project. So like these sort of GIF images, like see self-explanating, this is for an urban design project, like expanding the thematic plazas, like multi-level spaces, okay, the expansion into the like public spaces. So all those things I can explain with the help of one street, how we can explain the myriad changes, like how we can have different types of designs and different types of options in one design, like one street that we can focus into with the help of that. Not only to that, as I mentioned, like axonometric views are really helpful these days, which explains different type of creative process and all, right? So see, directly we can, with the help of basic plan, which we have in CAD now, with the help of a basic plan, we can bring it to SketchUp. We can do all the column layouts. We can do all the slab, the beams, okay, different types of ventilations and everything. Then we put it all together and you will get a decent axonometric views, like how I showed you previously. Also, I'll be showing you, like we can make like structural axonometric views. So it helps to align ourselves, like how the structure is being formed, how the architectural functions are being formed. So all those things will explain very clearly in one sheet. So that is about the presentation which we did. So this is like one structural view which I did during my thesis. So this explains, like this is a one building with million configuration. It has different, it's an urban design project which I did. So it has a multiple functions which are going through. So like to understand the structural point of perspective, I made a very clear axonometric views, explains the columns, how I'm going to do the existing building, how can I change the existing building, how can I retain the columns. So that explaining the entire process in one view, which gives an entire idea. So that's how we can help use the softwares, and we can help our presentations to come up. So this is for one of the project also which shortlisted in NASA during my undergraduation. And also this is one of the project which I did during my internship in Kodaikanal. So I mean, this is a resort which I did. Obviously, it was meant to be a computational project. That's why the forms and the structures are like that. And not only that, as I mentioned, like plugins. So why plugins? Plugins are nothing but to increase the time. See, we are coming to the digital world because to save our time, right? It helps to save, and it gets a lot of understanding, like how our layouts, how our different types of functions are being used. To understand that, these are some of the basic things the plugins where comes from. Plugins are nothing but to increase your workflow. Like say you have time of limited time of, like say 30 minutes, we can do it in 20 minutes or some 15 minutes with the help of the plugins. And also not like that, as I mentioned, with the help of that, we have a layouts, we have SketchUp, we have layouts, we have style builder. So these three things software comes as the Trimble as a package it gives. So we are not focusing on layouts. Layouts is, I strongly believe, like layouts is very helpful because it's same as like AutoCAD layouts. Okay. So what we can do is, as you see over in the screen, we have an interior layout, we have interior partitions, we have toilets, we have the sunken of the slabs, all those details. What we can do is we can make in SketchUp itself, then use the same technique what we use in AutoCAD in layouts, which is in SketchUp layout. There is no difference between the SketchUp layout and the AutoCAD layout. We can use more. I can surely, I mean, I can say that SketchUp layouts will give you more detail, more. You can make 3D views and everything in that. So with the help of that, these are the presentations which I could do with the help of the SketchUp and the SketchUp layouts and some renderings in LUMION. So I could present to the client by just giving them the ideology of like, okay, if I take a section from here, what is the height of the kitchen cabinet? How much height will you have? Like explaining them, okay, fine. Okay, this is what your thing is going to be. So not only that, I also make some axonometric views to explain the clients by saying, okay, you will have some structural ribs over here, you will have some trellis over here, you will have different functions of gym and spa on the top or something like that. So this I could able to make them and explain them, okay, fine. So this is what your entire function of the building is going to look like. So he can really understand and imagine himself by saying, oh, fine, these are the locations. So I could really go with the first shot itself. I can go from the client. Some minor corrections will be there, obviously. And as I said, like these are some of the, I presented these to the carpenter itself, like explaining the different shades, and even he can able to make the different types of tables for him. So this is a room for one of the architecture student during my time. He was an architecture student. For him, I had to make a room, dedicated room for him to have his workspace. So he's in first year, he was in first year. So I had to give him a space for a drafting and everything. So I had to focus more on his functions and how he can spend his time in this room given. So that was the idea behind, and so that's how it evolved also. So these are some of the mood board presentations and submitted to the client and as well as to the carpenter to execute at the site. And these are some of the images, executed images of the, this is for Ampa Skybox owner, is at T-Nagar it is. So these are the executed images of those with the help of those kind of thing. This I did during my internship with the help of some architects evolved over there. So I could put my ideas like, okay, we can present these types of presentation to the clients. And these are some of the executed images which you see here on the screen. Yeah. So again, some images. So now what we saw is like, okay, all the rigid forms, like basic forms which you do in SketchUp and for those things. Now coming to the parametric stuffs, like everyone is crazy about these days, like how I can do parametric stuffs in SketchUp, because we believe like Rhino and Revit has the amazing parametric stuffs. No, not only that, even SketchUp has amazing plugins where we can do different types of parametric forms. Okay, because I believe SketchUp gives you strong understanding of how we can create each and every form with our own idea. We don't have to, the software will not tell you to do how we can make the forms. We as a sketching thing, we can use those plugins and we can make our own forms, like whatever forms we want with the help of these plugins, which you see here in the screen. So I could quickly make some waffle structure or like a parametric pavilion, which you see over here. And then what we can do is we can copy them. We can make the multiple arrays of them. We can adjust the shadows. We can see how the shade and the structure is being formed in the entire platform, which is given over there. And then we can take it to the LUMION and we can render it amazingly by adding some trees there and there. And then we can add some elements and then it will look more realistic when it comes to that. So that's how we can evolve even these types of structures with the SketchUp. So with the help of those plugins, I could make these types of presentations, which you see over here in the screen, like parametric shell, which helps as a shading device for this entire. So this is like an SMT railway smart mass transit rapid system, which I proposed during my thesis. So it's a multimodal split, which each and every cable car, like it can go. So it was a different idea. It was a different concept which was given. So similarly, I could make for one of the shopping mall with the help of the same plugin, I could make the entire shell for that. And also we can also make trusses, different trusses when it comes to the SketchUp. We can make different forms just in the matter of 5 to 10 minutes. See, it didn't even take a matter of time to create this structure. Okay, so when you learn these plugins, it will give you amazing forms in the matter of 5 to 10 minutes. So that is what we can concentrate on the software and we can evolve those structures. So that with the help of that, I could make these types of forms, which you see over here, these forms which I was inspired from the Gardens by the Bay in Singapore. So with those inspirations, we can take from and we can make those forms with the help of this plugin. So see, you see like a flower, like explaining those concepts and how we can connect it with a ramp, and we can make a biomimicry of those, like understanding those concepts, which help you a lot in that. And then what we can do is like you see, like also explains the entire form of the building, like explaining this is the same view which I showed, the structural oximetric view which I showed. The same is being merged together and showing the entire area. This is basically in Chennai, Tirumala MRTS. Basically, I had done during my undergraduation thesis. So, and not only that, as I said, the urban designing, it comes to SKETCHUP. In SKETCHUP also, we have some 3 different types of plugins where we can use urban analysis. We can get an entire cityscape, the entire skyline of New York City. So this is I'm trying to do it from OpenStreetMap and bring the OSM files over here, and boom, you'll get the entire heights. Like I can say like 90% approximate heights, which are updated latest in that thing. So, but it will be really helpful to understand the design and the entire area, which helps us to understand the city. So what you see over here is it gives with, so this is another plugin, it's a plate plugin basically. It doesn't cost much. It costs like $5,000 per year. So what you see, we have different rivers, the roads, the main roads, the sub-RTL roads, all those things we can bring it over here and we can analyze it. So you see, it comes in different groups, right? You see the main road, the roads, the greeneries, the landscape, the buildings. So I have the entire city in my hand, the entire New York City in my hand. So I can able to understand and propose accordingly by understanding the sun and the shade, the heat islands, all those things we can able to do it with the help of these plugins, which we can understand. So with the help of that, what I can do is like I could make these types of forms with the help of plugins. I can make these pavilions. So some of the presentations which I did, and also this is for Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, like one of the project which I did during the undergraduation only. It was a completion project. So similarly, I could able to explore my ideas morely from that. So as it goes on, some presentations like what you see over here, section explaining the multiple functions happening in different levels. Yeah. So also not only restricting to that, we can also make live projects. So this is a live project. I don't have the execution pics over here as this is meant to be a software related orientation thing. So I had to restrict myself to everything which is related to software. So these are some of the layouts which I did for my explain the client, what type of textures will you have in your building and everything. So I had to explain it to them with the help of that. And this is the project which I did in Kodaikanal, like the entire mountain is being designed to understand with the basic LUMION rendering. Yeah, so these are presentations which you understand the landscaping. The entire design is which is being shown, and also with the help of some oximetric views explaining the functions and the elements, what you see. Yeah, so I'll just quickly run through these presentations. So this is one of the project which got top 3 all over India during my second year of undergraduation, which is the Griha, which I showed you that I was awarded in Indian Habitat Center. So during that time itself, I was well versed in software, so I could able to put all those renderings and all those SketchUp explaining these types of ISO views and everything, so that the juror could really understand what is my design process and everything. So that's the importance of SketchUp. So these are some of the benefits when you master in SketchUp. It's easy to draw your design because it's meant to be like an extension of a hand, adjust the lifeline drawings. So these are some of the interesting stuffs which you can master when you do as soon as you master in the SketchUp thing. So like limited software, if you master, you can explore that to the beyond. So that's what it is, like learn all the basics of SketchUp. Also stage wise creating, as I showed, the GIF images can be made, like learning 30 plus of plugins which increase the speeding of the like 3D modeling, parametric design, 3D shapes becomes easy to make. Figure ground ratios for urban design projects, skyline, urban ratios, streets and landscaping can be mapped from a 3D to for analysis and the study, as I explained. Make self-explanatory exploded views, isometric views, and much more. So these are the like things which you can do when you master in SketchUp. So like coming to the LUMION. as I said, Lumion is nothing but a makeup stuff, which I can call like, okay, fine, you have all the 3D form and everything. Then what you will do, you take it to Lumion to make it more realistic. So when clients see more realistic stuff, so okay, they will understand the entire building is going to have different types of textures, the glossy or whatever the different types of reflectivity for each and everything, what it has, which explains the best way to communicate architecture. It is the best way because you can do walkthroughs, as I will show you. We can make 360 walkthroughs, virtual reality walkthroughs, which we can make with the help of Lumion. It is quite like I'll come to the, it is a little bit expensive when you have to buy the licensing, but it is an amazing software because we can charge accordingly for the Lumion also, like when it comes to that. So Lumion visualization for softwares, it's perfectly fixed existing workflow and allows you to quickly turn your 3D CAD design into videos, images, and online 360 presentations also. Lumion is easy to master and easy to create, and you don't need a big team. Like say those days when you used to render and all, we used to have 3D visualizers. Even in Venkatraman Associates, we have 3D visualizers and all. Like they go over there. We have a huge team and with the render. But for Lumion, when you ask me personally, we don't need a huge team. With the help of one guy and a very good graphics system, like minimum of 4 GB or 6 GB these days, we need a graphic system, and that will help you to make amazing. So as you see here in the screen, this is just a model which is being exported from SketchUp directly without even, now what we are doing, we are putting all the materials to life. We will adjust, we'll set the scenes. Okay, this is what the scene is going to look. Now we'll add some trees, which gives the life to the building. We will add humans, we'll add the natural, like all the stuffs which will have the shrubs and everything. We'll develop the surrounding by putting some cars, some humans over there, and to understand the scale. Why we put trees is to explain it to understand the scale of the entire building, not only to look it more good, it will also give you to understand the entire massive scale if your building is so massive or something like that. And then we take it to Photoshop. You see, within a matter of, like, say, if you have a good system, we can make like these types of presentations in 1 or 2 hours. Like the time, the man hours which are being spent in the softwares are being reduced, and it will increase you the workflow process. This is also one virtual reality where we uses the virtual VR glasses, right? We need to buy them. So those are like some 10,000 to 12,000 ranges. So what we do is we fit them over here, and then what we do, we stitch all those things in Lumion, and then we render each and every frames. Each and every frames are being rendered over there, and then you can see. So you can put it on like you can put this on a client, like, okay, wear this, and you can feel your entire project which is going to be looking like. So lot of real estate builders and everything, real estate, like even we do in Venkatraman Associates, we do these types of things, and they see it and they will feel each and every area. So we don't have to construct one entire typical model for that, like life scale model. We can make these types of visualization walkthroughs and make them understand, okay, fine, how your building is going to look like for the interiors also. So with the help of that, I could make some of the for pitching the competitions, I could make these types of presentations and the renderings with the help of that. So this is for Akshaya Builders in Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, which I proposed for that. And these are some of the perspectives which I developed with the help of SketchUp and Lumion. So as you see over here, and this is for one of the project which I did in Kodaikanal as well. So explaining the entire, this is a resort basically. So with the help of those softwares, I could make more realistic renderings. And this is in Chennai. And Annanagar, basically, I had to propose an entire building. So these are some of the different elevations and the perspective what you see over here. So now coming to the Lumion, like what benefits what we have when it comes to Lumion: extremely easy to learn and use, easy connections to other software such as SketchUp and Revit. The archive of the elements trees, lot of elements we have. We have sound, we have animal sound, we have people sound. All those we can make it to make it more realistic in the help of walkthroughs. And then when you master these softwares like Lumion, you can instantly create high quality renderings. We have presets in that. Those presets you can simply plonk it, and you will get all those high rendering quality renderings in Lumion. And it creates best qualities. As I said, 360 panoramas you can create with the help of Lumion. Yeah, now coming to the final part, which is the, like we did 2D, we take it to 2D, I mean 3D in from AutoCAD to SketchUp, then we rendered. Now we have all the function, I mean like plan, elevations, the sections, the detailed drawings and everything, we have all those in hand. Now we take it to Photoshop to render and make it more enhanced look. So that's where Photoshop comes in. So to make it a very, so yeah, sorry. So in Photoshop, what you can do is you have a amazing tool, which I highly recommend to everyone. When you learn some presentational softwares, I request you to learn Photoshop rather than learning some other presentational softwares. So because Photoshop allows you to make conceptual sketchings also. See, without it, I don't even need a plan. Simply, I can sketch in Photoshop itself with the help of brushes, and then I can, with the help of layers, multiple layers, I can simply edit and color it and understand, and I can put my first process of sketching directly in Photoshop itself. Like, and then I can present it to the client by adding some effects and adding some brushes of trees over there and there, and then adding some kind of an multifunctional, like understanding how my green spaces are. And then I will name each and every spaces. Okay, these are the functions, like the bedroom, the living room and everything. Okay, and then I will export it as a JPEG, and then I will submit to the client as an initial sketching. So those things also we can learn in the Photoshop also, not only the presentation, I mean to say, even the sketching also we can do it in Photoshop. So that's with the help of that, I could make these types of presentations as you see. So this is one of the executed projects. For the execution, during the pitching of the project, I had to present to the client with the help of these presentations, which you see, explaining the different types of multi-levels, the bedroom over there. Below we have an open tech space. So the entire people can walk, or like see, or the entire, this is like a villa. It's a 4,200 square feet of a project which I had to do. So this is how it's been developed, directly understanding the massing, different types of levels in the, as it's a contour, it's in Kodaikanal, it has a different levels and all. So these presentations help me a lot to explain to the client very easily. So this is another project which I did, and also this is a project which I did during my undergraduation for my thesis. It is a one building with million configuration. So it's a smart city proposal which I did, and explaining the different layers, like what all you see in green are the urban hubs, what all you see in the blue are the civic hubs, what all you see in the orange are the tech hubs. So I collaborated all those hubs, the urban spaces. So that's the idea behind it. Like, I'm not explaining much of a concept over here, but explaining like how the softwares help me to brainstorm a concept and put it into the sheet so that I can explain it to my jurors very easily during my thesis. So this is one section which I did to explain how with the urban space which is created vertically, we're having a ramp over there which increases the health flow. Like I don't have to take a lift elevator to the top. I can go around the ramp. If you have an interesting space like this greenery space over there, so I can go at each and every space, I can connect to that. So this is a sustainable building which I had to develop. So with the help of those, I could also make some interesting plazas and the canopies for the entire area. So these are some of the like the pop-up plazas which I did for my undergraduation thesis. So I'm just running through the presentations, and this is one of the post-productions which I had to do, like collage, making the montages, like understanding save farmers for one of the project which I did, save the people near the dump yards, save the wetlands, the marshlands, what we have, like all those things, how I can put with the help of knowing, okay, if I take it to Photoshop, I can collect all these images and then I can combine, and then I can make these types of posters which explain them, which is self-explanatory. Okay, this is my concept for the proposal which I'm going to do. So now coming back, like sheet presentations, like how we can do. So yeah, so now what we can do is, so this is how we can make with the help of isometric views. Now see, as I did, a basic white model is what I had in SketchUp. Now then what we do, we take all the textures, we collect all the textures, we put it, we skew it in the help of Photoshop, and then we put it like these images. All these images are available in the internet. You can download it, it's free of cost, and then you can put all those images. And so this is what I'm trying to explain. When you explain this, so we can also put shadows in the help of Photoshop. So that's what we are trying to learn over here, to explain the isometric views and in the concept. when it comes to. So with the help of those techniques, I could make an entire street. I had to study for my thesis. These are the main roads which are connecting the Marina Beach in Chennai. So these are all the main roads, like some 6 to 7 main roads what we have, which connects vertically to the beach. So I had to explain like what different types of traffic do I have. I had to go collect sample images. I had to go and survey, and then I had to put all the street hawkers and what all the different types of urban spalls I have over there. I had to put and everything, and I explained this to the juror itself. These are the things which I explained and presented to the juries itself directly. So I was aware of the softwares, and it was very helpful for me. So when you learn from the starting itself these concepts, it doesn't take much time to learn these softwares. So when you learn all these things, when you have the idea and the thing, we can simply directly put all those concepts and these types of study, we can put it and explain it to the jurors. So it helps a lot. So you see the entire Marina Beach is being mapped, and it's been stretched, detailed out what all functions we have. We have some multiple statues over there. I can explain different types of statues, what all statues, naming them and explaining where all we have pedestrian circulations. And even the Tamil Nadu government did a beautification, what type of beautification they did, explaining the elements, like what all elements do we have, and explaining where all we have urban spalls, how the drainage is being blocked. So those areas I could focus, and I can explain it to the jury by saying, okay, fine, these are the areas which I have the problems. I can do the solutions to them. So entire stretch, see, I had also done my survey for that, like to understand the surveys. Even surveys we can put in the presentations like these. So this is for one of the another competition project, and explaining different types of Voronoi functions. With the help of Photoshop, I can make these types of post-production works and the sheet compositions. And see, I didn't even have to render in LUMION. What I did is I exported directly in SKETCHUP, added the shadows, and added some trees and some some clouds behind. And this is also a GIF image which I did. One second. For the thesis, I had to do one GIF image which explains the Marina Beach, how it is going to have the different streets, how the streets are going to extend, how will it have a complete public loops. I wanted to make it more pedestrianized rather than having more of public spaces. Having more of public spaces and the congregation spaces where we can do. So that's how I could explain like how we can have open plaza views, how we can make it more greener. Where all can I add the bioclimatic canopies and all those things. So with a simple concept, SketchUp and Photoshop, I could make these presentations, which is what I'm trying to say. And these are some of the benefits in Photoshop. We can make environment friendly buildings, and you can render those things in Photoshop. And also you can make night view, day views, all those things with the help of some presentation sets what we have over here. I have collected all those. With the help of this, you can simply export the JPEG image from SketchUp and plonk it into Photoshop, and then you will get the rendering of that. Yeah. So these are some of the mastering benefits when you do master in Photoshop. What you will do, like floor plan renderings to make an attractive presentations, master plan, elevation section, presentation and techniques, how to make GIF images, video editing in Photoshop. We can do video editings in Photoshop also. Many of them don't know about those. We have that option of doing the GIF images and high quality videos in Photoshop as well, making sheet compositions, panels, the banners, what we do, all those things which we can able to do with the help of Photoshop. So yeah, as I believe it is already more than 30 minutes, which have been given a time. So I have requested another time for learn from concept construction. I believe it's a huge topic again for building information modeling. I have requested the Professor Kavita ma'am to give me a time for that also, which I would be really helpful to present that as well. So yeah, this is about it. And
thank you, Zayn sir. It was a very digitalized, too much of information. I think it will take another 1 or 2 sessions to learn the entire process. Thank you so much, Zayn sir. It was fabulous. It was great. I request Dean ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks and also talk a few words about Zayn. Over to you, ma'am.
very proud of Zayn's presentation. Being one of your tutors, it is indeed giving us a lot of pleasure. I'm sure you have few of your tutors watching you, and I'm sure all of them would be sharing the same pride that I feel. We are proud of your progress and proud to be a tutor. Wonderful. And you have nailed the need of the hour, which I'm sure all the students out there are longing to master. And I also know that you tried to jam everything as far as you could give. I could see the overflowing of information which you were trying to share in the very limited time we gave. Great job, Architect Zayn. And as we discussed, we will have Architect Zayn again for a presentation on the concept to construction part of it. We shall have it very shortly. We'll inform you about that. Thank you, Zayn, once more for giving us your precious time in spite of your very busy schedule. You agreed to give us this time. Thank you so very much. An amazing presentation. Proud of you. Way to go, and I'm sure you'll go. You'll reach heights. I could see that as I was watching you. I was thinking I'm going to see Architect Zayn as somebody very international, and I'm sure we will have another presentation again like that. So wishing you all the very best. Thank you, Architect Vijay Krishna, for our dear mentor, who's always been there for us. Vijay Krishna, sir, would you like to add a few words for Zayn?
I think the first part is amazing. In fact, I was waiting for the later part to happen. Concept to construction. This is more need of the art, wherein many of even the practicing architects are struggling to maybe bridging both the things together. So we'll have it very soon. So maybe we'll take it up very soon.
Yeah, we'll try and fit it this week itself. Let us, we are hoping to do that. Okay. Thank you so very much, Vijay Krishna, sir. As always, you've been a wonderful mentor for us and being part of the team. We shall, thanks from the team at Jaya for all the support that you always give us. And Dr. Satish Kumar, who has always been the wind beneath our progress. And thanks to Jaya team again, once more. I know today we went a little longer than we normally do, but still it was worth it. And we shall meet again tomorrow for another wonderful session on conservation. So please wait for us tomorrow at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, participants.